Hi, and welcome everybody to Transcendental Turnaround Thursdays. I know it's a mouthful. Today's uh, episode number 3. Sorry, I got stuck for a second there on what I was saying. So, today I would like to talk to you about the power of clarity, unlocking success through clarity. It's important to be clear, and I think going back to last week, talking about how I achieved my out goals, it's important to understand how clarity or a lack of clarity affects you. The truth is that if we're unclear, we are uncertain. And if we are uncertain, how can we actually get to the mark? So just think about a great example is I have the NOAA weather app on my phone. And what I love about the NOAA weather app is it gives me hurricane warnings because I live in Florida. I can track even potential hurricanes, and it gives me lightning strike warnings because I work with horses a lot. So I'm outside, and Florida has a lot of lightning. And so I need to know where lightning strikes are and if they're cloud to cloud or cloud to ground. My husband is a truck driver, and sometimes he wants me to look up the weather for the area he's in. The problem with the NOAA app, and maybe I just don't know how to use it properly, but for me, it gives me a satellite view, but it does not show me the roads and the borders to the states and any kind of delineation for where I need to look for the weather for him. And even when it does pop up with little circles and maybe a current temperature, it doesn't tell me what city and state that is until I really zoom in or click on it. And so it's very hard for me to map the weather for him using that app. It's unclear. While there is some certainty in this is the weather in this area, it is unclear what area that is. So I could be looking at Ohio when he really needs the weather in Pennsylvania. Does that make sense to everybody? So when you are making decisions, or when you are setting your goals, or when you are creating rituals, it is important to really know. I always tell people to be specific and detailed. So what is the difference between being specific and then being detailed? The easiest way for us to assimilate that in our mind is to think of a specific drawing would be black and white. Adding detail would be adding 1,000 shades of color, or maybe 1,000,000 shades of color. As many details as you can get gives you more clarity. So how can you gain clarity for your life and business? So I was talking to a young woman yesterday in a coaching session who's in Australia, and she was overwhelmed a little bit by the thought of the possibilities of what she could do. And one of the things that we have to understand is that in order to have great possibility, we must first find our voice. And in finding our voice, we have to have clarity about who it is we're speaking to. I'm not saying I'm not going to speak to everybody, because I'll speak to anybody who needs me and who's interested. But the first people who are going to hear me are the people who can hear my voice when I am specifically speaking to the type of person, the kind of person, or in most cases, somebody like myself when I was younger. By giving clarity in my voice, I will start to be able to reach out and touch more people because they'll be able to hear what I am saying. So to gain clarity in your life, let's say you want to go on vacation and you never take a vacation because you are always working and it seems like you're always behind in your work. I totally understand that because I completely overestimate what I can accomplish in a day. I'm working on some new rituals for that. Thank you, J. Allen Hull and Brendan Burchard, for your methodologies. So what I've designed, and I'm not perfect at it yet. It's going to take me time to get perfect, but I've designed a time blocking system that works. I have a morning ritual that is for me personally, and then I have a beginning of the workday ritual, and then I have an end of the workday ritual, and then I have an end of the day ritual that goes back to for me personally. Now I do have some personal time mixed in. I have some rejuvenation time mixed in. I am doing my best to work for 90 minutes at a time and take at least a 20-minute break to refresh my brain. I'm giving myself clarity in my personal life and in my business life so that I will be able to continue to achieve more, and I'm already seeing the results of that. So how do we overcome obstacles or distractions that hinder our ability to get to clarity? Because believe me, and especially when you start working on this, there are going to be a ton of obstacles and distractions. Is it everything under the moon is going to come up? For instance, my dogs immediately, when I went live, I forgot to close the door, and everybody came in to see who I was talking to. They all have to know. So how do we overcome obstacles or distractions? Well, we start to whittle down what are our non-negotiable items, such as family time, what are negotiable items, such as TV time. I don't need as much TV time, or game time, or maybe I like to sleep in, but I don't really need to sleep in. So those are negotiable things. I can change it. Maybe I was sleeping in a half an hour and I should only sleep in 15 minutes. I can negotiate that down. Now I just gained an extra 15 minutes for meditation. Does that make sense? Distractions that hinder your clarity, a lot of those distractions are going to be fear-based, or they are going to be things that you're non-committal about. And so you have to know, you have to write down. You don't have to. I suggest to my clients and my students that when you are coming up against an obstacle, write it down. Write down what the obstacle is. Write down what emotion it brings up in you. Write down why you think you're having that emotion. Write down what the negative experience is, and then write down what the positive experience could be. Write down what the best outcome could be. Then picture yourself in that best outcome. Feel the emotion of that best outcome. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart. Feel the emotion of that best outcome and anchor that feeling to change that distraction into a motivation. That's what I have for Transcendental Turnaround Thursdays. I hope this was helpful to everybody. If you enjoyed it, please put your love and messages in the chat. Please remember to subscribe, share with your friends, follow us on Facebook, and we do have a Fear and Focus Masterclass coming up. I will drop the link in the chat. Everybody have a great day. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.